I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched my previous video. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, I highly suggest that you do before watching this video, as it'll probably just make the whole video make a little bit more sense. So I'll leave the link in the description box, and stop what you're doing and watch that one first. So this week's topic is basically a subject that I've wondered about many times before I even considered getting married. And to answer the question, I took a few different avenues. The first of which was a bit of internet research, and let me tell you, there isn't much of it, or actually there's too much of it, but not much of it really gave a definitive answer. And the other avenue I explored was simply going to see my doctor and seeing what she says. So the question, as you might have guessed from the video title, is, can I have children? Now, the simple answer to this, which my doctor gave me, is that biologically there is really no reason why I shouldn't be able to get pregnant and have a perfectly healthy baby. But having Dandy Walker syndrome and the related hydrocephalus, which requires a shunt to treat it, does make the pregnancy a little bit more complicated. So there are a few things that I just need to look out for throughout the pregnancy. Now, just a disclaimer, this pregnancy hasn't happened yet, but I thought it best to just do my research and get my answers and, as it would, get all my ducks in a row before I have a child. So that way I'm not worrying about it. Now, internet research gave me a few different answers as to the possible risks that having a pregnancy with hydrocephalus could entail. Now, in some cases, they apparently regard this as a high-risk pregnancy with a whole team of doctors involved, this being the neurosurgeon, the gynecologist, the OB, and constantly monitoring it throughout the pregnancy. On the other hand, when I went to go chat to my doctor, she said she's had many women who have had shunts and they managed to carry to term without much complication. So I'm still a bit confused when it comes to which one I'm going to fall into, but I guess in that regard I will find out when I get there. In terms of the actual pregnancy, there are a few things that I would need to look out for. Obviously all related to the shunt. So these would be basically signs of shunt blockages or shunt failures. Now, as would happen with pregnancy, the increasing size of the baby makes that there's actually decreasing amount of space for everything else, including the shunt. So this could cause a blockage or a failure of the shunt, which my doctor says would require surgery to correct, which, while not being ideal, it would be doable. It should also be noted that some women experience more severe headaches during their pregnancy, either during a portion of their pregnancy or throughout their pregnancy. Now, this can be created by or caused by raised intracranial pressure or pressure exerted on the shunt by the growing baby. So that's the one thing. And then obviously at the end of pregnancy, there would be the birth. Now, again, I've done my research on what form of birth is best, and again, I got mixed reactions. Sorry about that, I got a call. So where were we? Right. So when I went to my doctor and inquired about the birth process with a shunt, she assured me that there's really no reason why I shouldn't be able to go through a natural birth. Naturally, she would monitor for signs of distress, either being shunt related or baby related, and if these kinds of distress were to arise, we would deal with it then. But other than that, there shouldn't really be any reason why I shouldn't just have a normal birth. One thing that I did find quite interesting when I went to my physiotherapist, however, is she emphasized that breathing would be quite important for me. So I would need to learn how to breathe properly and how to use the correct muscles for the birthing process. So in many birthing videos and births that I've seen, some women tend to prefer to kind of hold your breath and bear down. Now she says this really isn't going to work for me, as especially with the shunt, it would increase intracranial pressure, and that's the last thing you want. So a few things that she said may help for this is attending, for instance, Lamaze classes or birthing classes, where they teach you to use my abdominal muscles to do the pushing. And this would greatly help, along with proper breathing technique, to ensure that my intracranial pressure is kept at an acceptable level and that the birthing process goes smoothly. So that is basically all the research that I've done. If you have any other questions related to anything that I've chatted about in this video, or just anything in general, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any other comments, leave them below. And if you have any suggestions as to any topics related to this video, my previous video, or just any new topics that you'd like me to discuss, please leave a comment and I will try my best to get to them. Right. Thank you for watching. Bye.